everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crafty Beer Reviews. Today I will be beginning my 2-week-long series on the Beer Camp Across America 12-pack from Sierra Nevada. Now, they did a staggered release for this, so some markets have already had this for a while, some areas like Ohio are just getting this, and as many of you probably know, Sierra Nevada teamed up with 12 different breweries to create 12 different beers, so that is a really, really awesome concept. The 12-pack comes in at $25 around here, which I didn't think was too bad, kind of about $2 a beer, which I don't think is anything crazy, and it's really neat. I've been looking forward to trying this, so I'm very excited to start this. You guys will see each and every one of those beers in the pack reviewed. I know it's going to be a while, but I think you're going to enjoy it. Now, what's really cool is they put a lot of information on the bottle. So you have the ABV, the IBUs, and they also have a very clear bottling date. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up with the first review, and then hopefully I'm not going to have to discuss this again, but it's nice to have the bottling date. However, it's been a disappointment from this pack already, and I haven't even tried any of the beers. So a lot of these beers, especially the hoppy ones, were brewed in early May or early June. So at time of reviewing, that puts a lot of these in almost 2 months old, which is super disappointing. So I'm trying to get to the hoppiest ones that are the oldest first so that I can review them as fresh as possible. So the first one I have is the collaboration with Floyds, and this is the Chico King Pale Ale. Now this one in particular was bottled on the 15th of May. It's the 20th of June, so that's a little over 2 months old. So that is really, really disappointing. Chico King was one that I was really looking forward to, so yeah, I understand the logistics of releasing this. I understand getting the brewers out there to brew the beer, but it's disappointing to find some of these beers already 2 months old when they're, trying to push the craft beer message. It's a little disappointing, but you know what? I'm not going to harp on it more than that. Just wanted to let you guys know that if you're getting this pack any later than us, be prepared for some older hoppy beer. Alright guys, that is enough introduction. Let's go ahead and check out the aroma. It's actually kind of got a mild aroma to it, really. Getting a little bit of a floral hop notes. It's kind of herbal. I'm getting a little bit of grapefruit. Yeah, that's about it. I'm getting a tiny, tiny bit of citrus, but not much. Yeah, that is weird. I'm getting a little bit of a bready, biscuity type of malt note, too. Yeah, pretty much just floral hops for the most part, though. It really doesn't smell like a whole hell of a lot at this point. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take our first sip. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting is kind of this subtle orange peel. I'm getting a touch of the grapefruit. And it's kind of earthy. I'm getting a little bit more of that kind of floral hop note in there as well. It's kind of a grassy note. I'm getting a little bit of some caramel sweetness. Not a ton, but I'm getting a little bit of that caramel malt backbone. Kind of on the back end, I'm getting a little bit of that bready, biscuity type of note too. I'm getting a touch of pine in the finish. Not much though. It's really, really subtle, and it's more as it kind of lingers on your palate, but I think the pine note is definitely in there. It's got a medium body. It's got a pretty crisp, clean type of taste. It's got a lower medium level of bitterness, so it's not, tongue-scrapingly bitter, but it's bitter enough to dry out the beer enough and kind of makes you want to come back for another sip. All in all, this is a really average beer. No, not kind of. It is disappointing, honestly. I mean, we are lucky enough to get Floyds here, not all the time, but here and there in Ohio, and I've had most of their beers and most of their hoppy beers, and they always kick ass. They do some amazing things with hops, and to be honest, this just tastes like another pale ale. Kind of tastes like really just a generic pale ale, The hops are kind of muted. The malt's not super forward, which is good, but it's definitely in there. It's just, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it has to do with this being almost 2 months old, or if it just wasn't that great of a beer to begin with. I'm really surprised this is coming from Floyds, though. It tastes more like a Sierra Nevada brew. Really doesn't seem like Floyds put much of an influence into this one. Just kind of slightly floral, grassy, earthy hop notes, a little bit of citrus and pine, and that's about it. This one is really just not as good as I was hoping, guys, and kind of a weak way to start off the pack, honestly. I'm hoping that others will improve. There's a couple in there that I was really looking forward to, some that I'm interested to try as well, so we shall see. As far as a rating, Guys, I'm going with a 7.5 out of 10. It's not a bad beer, it's an average beer. It's also kind of old at this point, and the hops just really aren't as present as I was expect, especially from something to do with Three Floyds. So, a little disappointing, but if you guys have tried this one, let me know. Especially if you tried it fresher, let me know if, there's a big difference in taste. I'd be very curious to hear that. Alright guys, so for my musical recommendation, since this does involve Three Floyds and they like metal and I like metal, I'm going to recommend Wolves in the Throne Room and their 2011 record, Magellan Grain. Now, they're kind of this atmospheric black metal group, very cool, very long songs. If you like 12 to 15 minute black metal songs, you're going to dig them. Alright guys, that does for this beer review, and of course, I will be back with even more Beer Camp Across America, so stay tuned for that. And please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, I hope whatever you're doing involves good craft beer. See ya.